We take source material, it could be research, guides, conference analysis, and, well, we turn it into insight you can actually use. Today, we're diving deep into career and money strategies, but specifically tailored for one really powerful but sometimes misunderstood persona: the intuitively secure individual. Yeah, we're working from a single guide here, and the mission feels critical. It's about how you harness this amazing intuitive gift professionally, but also how do you stop the downsides, like the excessive caution, that fear that just freezes you, and maybe, stress spending, stopping those things from messing up your long-term goals.
It's a really fascinating profile
Mhm.
because the usual advice for career success, be aggressive, take risks, don't get emotional, it just doesn't quite fit. It works against their wiring. Looking at my data here, the main driver isn't just piling up wealth. Not really. It's about achieving this deep emotional security.
That distinction is so important, isn't it? We're talking about needing to feel safe, genuinely cared for, valued where you work. If that's not there, well, the best paying job in the world could feel completely wrong, like a trap.
That's exactly.
This source calls this gift something like deeply undervalued in the fast-paced, cutthroat professional world. Honestly, I think that's putting it mildly. It's like having this internal compass that, consultants charge millions for.
Okay, let's unpack that inner compass because the guide uses some pretty strong language. It actually says almost psychic ability to get what people need, often before they even know. Now, I got to push back a bit on psychic. We're not talking crystal balls or anything like that.
Fair point. But let's translate that. It's not magic, sure, but it is an incredibly high level of EQ. Emotional intelligence, foresight. Think about it. You're prepping for a tough client meeting. This person. They can read the room, the tiny signals, sense the tension. They can almost predict where things might go off the rails. That's huge strategic insight, even if they can't always explain how they know.
That makes sense. It's like predicting the emotional weather, which, let's face it, in business often drives the financial weather too. So if we connect that strength to actual jobs, the best environments have to let them use that caring, protective side. The data points really strongly to fields where they can quite literally care for others, or maybe create a sanctuary, build things that offer stability.
And the specific fields listed in the guide, they really show that mix, don't they? Emotional support and tangible security. You've got healthcare, social work, pretty obvious fits, right?
Right.
But then real estate, which isn't just about flipping houses. It's about finding someone a home, protecting a family's biggest asset. That feels different.
Absolutely. Picture that agent who isn't just about the quick commission. They're helping a family find the right place, the one that feels safe, permanent. Hospitality's on the list too. And why? Because what's the core of a great hotel or restaurant? Making people feel looked after, comfortable, safe, like a temporary home.
Yeah, that fits. And the last one, kind of surprising maybe, is finance.
But like you flagged earlier, not the Wolf of Wall Street type.
Definitely not.
It's finance as a trusted advisor. Securing futures, building stability, not just playing the market. The work needs that meaning, that supportive element. Otherwise, their motivation just evaporates.
Okay, so they have this incredible sensitivity, this intuition that makes them great in these roles. But that same sensitivity is also the source of their biggest hurdle. The guide calls it the security trap.
That's it. That's the core challenge here.
Right, let's dig into that. This intense need for safety makes them super risk averse. How does that actually hold them back, like in real terms?
It can lead to career paralysis.
Yeah.
Seriously. Imagine this. You're offered a fantastic promotion, big step up, more money, but you have to move to a new city, manage a way bigger team. The intuitively secure person, their mind might jump straight to the worst-case scenarios. What if the new team hates me? What if I fail and have to move back? What about my savings? That fear of emotional disruption, of instability, it can genuinely outweigh the pull of the higher salary or the opportunity itself.
Wow, yeah, that sounds genuinely crippling. So if your gut feeling is your superpower, you can't just ignore it, can you?
No, you can't.
You have to acknowledge that anxiety, but somehow stop it from just shutting everything down. How do you even square that circle?
The guide uses this great metaphor. You have to be the captain of your ship, your intuition, your gut. That's essential. It's like sensing the wind changing, noticing that storm brewing way off. Vital info.
Right. But if you only rely on the feel of the wind, you're going to end up on the rocks eventually.
Precisely.
You need the charts, too, the instruments, the cold, hard facts. You need to know the water depth, the currents, the actual forecast.
Exactly. So the actionable step is merging those two data streams, the emotional data and the practical data. Trust that initial gut feeling. Let it flag the potential dangers. But then Immediately follow up with solid research, due diligence. Make this spreadsheet. Talk to people who've made that move. Draft a plan B, even a plan C. The fear is the warning light on the dashboard.
Yeah.
It's not the stop sign.
That integration,
Hmm.
that makes a lot of sense. It's powerful. Okay, let's pivot a bit to money, to the financial side, because this is where the emotional state can have really visible, really immediate effects. We know they can be great savers when things feel stable, but what happens when stress kicks in?
Yeah, the stress response often triggers what you might call comfort spending. It's usually not about buying flashy, extravagant things. It's more about things that provide an immediate hit of comfort, safety, feeling nurtured, maybe some new stuff for the house, fancy self-care items, or even just ordering takeout constantly because cooking feels like too much.
Ah, retail therapy, but
Yeah, well,
driven by a real need to get back to feeling okay emotionally.
exactly. And it becomes this cycle, right? The spending provides temporary relief, but it undermines the bigger goal of long-term security, which then causes more stress.
It's a tough loop to break. So how does the guide suggest getting out of that cycle without taking away that need for an emotional safety net?
By making the safety net official, formalizing it, we go beyond just the standard emergency fund. The source calls it a peace of mind fund.
Okay, peace of mind fund. How's that different structurally? I mean, every financial advisor says save 3 to 6 months of expenses, right?
That's true. But an emergency fund is usually for, like, the car breaking down or losing your job. This peace of mind fund, it's psychologically separate. It's a savings account specifically earmarked for protecting their emotional well-being, their equilibrium.
So give me an example.
Okay, say things get overwhelming. Maybe they need to take a couple of months off between jobs just to reset.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe they need to hire help, like an assistant for a while, just to manage chaos.
Hmm.
This fund covers that kind of cost, the emotional cost of maintaining stability.
Ah, gotcha. So it's not for fixing the leaky roof. It's for fixing the anxiety about the leaky roof, potentially, or just the general anxiety.
You got it. And just knowing that specific buffer exists, that it's designated for that purpose, it can actually prevent future decisions made purely out of fear. Those fear-based decisions, they're often the most costly in the long run. This fund essentially says, look, even if things go sideways, I have this untouchable resource that buys me breathing room, buys me emotional space. It's like insurance for your psyche.
That is such a specific and useful piece of advice. And, speaking of useful advice, if you're finding these kinds of targeted insights helpful, this is probably a good moment to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us keep bringing this kind of focused analysis to you. Maybe leave a like or a comment. Let us know what resonates. Okay, back to it. Let's talk about the workplace itself, because this persona, they're often kind of indispensable, aren't they? The guide calls them the heart of the team, the glue.
Oh, absolutely. They're the ones remembering birthdays, smoothing over conflicts before they explode, just noticing the small human stuff. They often end up being the office's emotional shock absorbers.
But that nurturing side, that strength, it also creates a big vulnerability at work, doesn't it?
It really does. The huge risk is being taken for granted. If you're always the one absorbing stress, doing that emotional labor without making a fuss, well, management can stop seeing it as a skill. It just becomes expected, part of the furniture.
Right.
They can end up as that super valuable but kind of chronically underpaid team mom or dad figure.
Which leads straight to burnout, right? And burnout is like the ultimate enemy of emotional security. You're draining your core resource, that empathy, and not getting enough back professionally.
Which is why setting clear boundaries is framed as, and I'm quoting the source here, absolutely vital. And it's not just about saying no more often, though that's part of it. It's about reframing those contributions, seeing them, and getting others to see them as real professional expertise. They need to make sure those relational skills, that ability to build cohesion, isn't just appreciated with a thank you card, but actually recognized and compensated.
So if you're the one keeping team morale up, making sure communication flows, basically ensuring the team actually functions well together, that needs to show up.
Yeah.
Not just in casual thanks, but in your paycheck, your job title, your official responsibilities. You got to stop giving away your most valuable professional asset for free.
Yeah, connecting it back to the big picture. Their career success really hinges on internalizing that and then showing it. They need to value themselves, their skills, as much as they value everyone else on the team. That financial and professional recognition, that's how they build the external fortress of security, the one that finally lines up with their internal strength.
This has been, wow, a really insightful look at connecting those deep emotional needs with actual concrete strategies. The path forward seems pretty clear from the guide. It's about building that fortress, like you said. Trusting the intuition, yes, but balancing it with solid planning. And maybe most importantly, really prioritizing self-care, taking care of yourself. The guy finishes up by stressing how important structure and daily routines are. They're the next step. Because without that underlying emotional balance, the whole career and financial structure is shaky. It all comes back to feeling grounded.
It really does. True wealth, for this persona especially, isn't just the number in the bank account. It's about feeling secure, feeling genuinely at home in your own life. That single need for security, both at home and at work, it really does drive every major decision. So maybe the final thought to leave you mulling over is this. If you're thinking about a big career move right now, what specific steps can you take starting today to make absolutely sure the outcome helps you feel more at home in your own life, not less?